Raise your hand if you've ever woken up tired, drank 3 coffees, and still felt completely exhausted by noon. You likely don't have an energy problem. You have a friction problem. Most people aren't naturally tired. They're just dragging around heavy, useless habits that drain their battery before the day even starts. Think of your brain and body like this smartphone battery. If you leave 20 apps open in the background, the power drains even if you're not actively using the device. You wake up and immediately check your phone. That's an app opening in your brain. You see an email that stresses you out, another app. You skip breakfast or eat pure sugar. That is a system glitch. By the time you actually start working, you're running on 10% capacity. We usually reach for caffeine to survive the gap, but a stimulant isn't a charge, it's a mask. It blocks the signals telling you you're tired while the battery continues to drain in the background. So you crash. You spend the rest of the day in a fog, thinking you're recharging when you're actually just passively watching the power bar drop. This keeps the cycle alive, making genuine recovery impossible because the root cause remains unfixed. Once you see the pattern, you can break it. You don't need expensive supplements or complex biohacks. You just need to run a simple 48-hour audit to find the open apps and force quit them. Here is the framework. Plug number 1 is the mental drain. Mental friction exhausts the body significantly faster than actual physical labor. Think about all the open loops in your head. The text you forgot to answer. The project you're putting off. The argument from 3 days ago. Every one of these is a background process running in silence. This diagram shows the fix. Write them down. Get a piece of paper and dump every thought out of your head. Once it's on paper, your brain stops trying to hold on to it. The loop closes and the system load lightens, finally freeing up the mental bandwidth you were wasting on background tracking. Plug number 2 is the input drain. This includes the food you eat and the information you process. If you start your morning by scrolling through bad news, you're injecting cortisol straight into your system. You're telling your body it is in danger. For the next 48 hours, don't touch your phone for the first 30 minutes after you wake up. Drink some water. Look at a wall. Do literally anything else to protect your morning battery. Physically, prioritize whole foods that grew in the ground. Cutting the processed sugar allows your energy levels to stabilize rather than spike and crash. Managing these inputs aligns your behavior with your biology. By stabilizing your blood sugar and your cortisol levels, you stop the system from forcing an emergency shutdown before the day is over. Plug number 3 is the fake rest drain. This is the trap of the evening crash, where we mistakenly believe we are recharging. Staring at a screen for 2 hours might rest your legs, but it actively fries your brain with thousands of rapidly processed images and opinions. Real rest requires a complete system cooldown. That means silence, unstructured walks with no headphones, and allowing the mind to wander freely. Forcing the brain to disconnect is the only way to genuinely recharge the battery for the following day. So start today. Execute the 48-hour audit. Close the mental loops, guard your morning digital inputs, and swap fake rest for real silence. This change will feel uncomfortable at first. Your brain will crave the distraction of the background noise it's used to. Push through that initial friction. Stop treating your smartphone like a vital oxygen tank. Once you clear the background noise, the fog finally lifts. You'll realize you had the energy all along. You just had to stop wasting it on things that didn't matter.